Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of In Lieu of Murder. I'm Amanda Marie.
And this is Ainoa, and today we're going to tell you the story of the Hello Kitty murder, which is a murder that still haunts Hong Kong today. All right, guys. So this is the story of Fan Man Yi. She was held captive by three men and one girl before dying between the 14th and the 16th of April of 1999. While reading through this story, honestly, I don't know if you've ever felt like this, Amanda, where you're questioning whether you should even talk about it.
Absolutely, especially if it has to do with like minors or anything with like SA and things like that. I get really like, oh no, that's too much. Like, I would never talk about that happening to someone. So, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely horrific. It makes you like wonder, how can we be so cruel? How can we be so damaged, so to find pleasure in inflicting pain in others? Um eh, and not like BDSM pain, but like real pain. Like I just honestly don't get it. And not even the police officers in this case, when the girl that was part of the crime, when she went in to report it, uh they didn't even believe her either, because it just felt so unreal, right? um the only reason she actually went in is because she said that Fan was haunting her. Okay.
So the girl that reported it, the crime, whatever happened, whatever you're gonna tell me, the girl that reported it to the police said that she went in because Fan was haunting her.
Yeah, that she
Does it
was being.
specify, like, how many days after or how much time after that Fan was haunting her?
Well, e ever since, Fan died, um,
I just didn't know if it was telling
apparently.
you that so we could kinda figure out the time frame between, like, was it a few days? Was it a week? You know?
So, she died around the 14th, 16th of April. They don't really know the exact date in 1999. And this girl led them to the scene of the crime, or she went to report it, um, and on the 24th of May of
So, like, 5
1999.
days later.
No, like a month.
Oh, so listen, I was only listening to the days and not the month.
Mhm.
Okay, so now this makes a little bit more sense. Okay.
Okay, but before we start, and we tell you about what happened to her, etc. Um, let's talk a little bit about Fan and who she was, because she did have a really troubled upbringing. She was born in 1976 in Shenzhen, and Fan, she was abandoned by her family. So she ended up in an orphanage, in an old girls' orphanage in Matau Wai. I am so sorry
Does it
if I'm
say
butchering this.
No, and that's okay. Do you have any idea why she was abandoned by her family?
No, there's no information on that topic, to be honest with you. So I have no clue. But I did not know this. At the age of 15, she aged out. They have an age restriction
Of 15?
at 15. Can you imagine getting told, "Hey, you're an adult now, go and be an adult at 15"? Because I mean, I can't. I don't
I
know.
mean, I woulda loved it because at 15, I thought I was grown anyways.
We all
But
did, I think, but none of us wanted to pay bills, at least not me.
right, well, I mean, I still don't wanna pay bills, but
That has not
they say
changed.
I'm an adult or something, so I have to.
But so she found herself on the streets at the age of 15, and nothing good comes from finding yourself on the streets.
Right.
Um, she, got around the wrong crowd, ended up hooked on meth, and
Ooh.
also, in order to support her habit, she started, doing prostitution. She worked at a brothel. The name of it was Romance Villa.
So, and just correct me if I'm wrong for us naive people who, because I mean, I've heard the word brothel, but it's always been like on a movie. So that's like where, like, there's like legal brothels in some places. Like, that's a place
Yeah.
where like you can go and pay for sex, correct?
Yeah, and this was a legal brothel. She started there at the age of 21. So she was on the streets from 15 to 21. She was living on the street. She was homeless.
Right.
And then at 21 she started working at a brothel, this romance villa place. And that's where she met a fellow drug addict by the name of Ning Ning Chi Wen. Ning Chi Yuen. I don't mean to be laughing at
Oh,
myself.
because I'm pretty sure you just call me a hoochie somewhere in that.
Listen, please, if somebody knows how do you, his first name is NG. It doesn't even have a vowel.
Nig-
Ning, Ning
mm,
Chi Wen. Ning Chi
mm.
Yuen.
All right, so let's give this person a nickname. How about Kyle?
Kyle. All right, Kyle sounds good. So, and she met him in 1996, and a few years later, in November of 1998, roughly 5 months before she was murdered, she gave birth to their son.
So it was her and
Now,
Kyle's son.
yeah, her and Kyle's son. Now, Fan's marriage was not great. I mean, two addicts together.
I
mm,
understand.
Yeah. And he was super abusive. Like the neighbors describe hearing like noises of them fighting, of him hitting her. And at some point she decided to get out, right? She's like, I
Now,
need to
I
get
just want
clean.
to stop right there. Okay.
Okay.
So far, and I just want you to correct me if I'm wrong. This girl's family abandoned her. At 15, she was thrown to the streets to survive on her own.
Hmm.
At 21, she got tired of struggling completely and started working at a brothel. She met Kyle. She thought she was in love. He treated her like crap, and now she has this baby. That's where we're at.
Yeah, that's
That's
where we're
rough.
at.
Could you imagine at, 21, 22, already being, have gone through what you've gone through, and then you find this man and you fall in love, and now there's a kid and he treats you like crap. So now logically I'm about to be on my own with this kid.
Yeah, and I mean that's exactly what happened. But that kid also gave her if she I think she felt a new sense of like responsibility to somebody other than herself.
They
Because
say that sometimes God or whoever the higher power is will give people a child if they need to know what unconditional love can actually feel like. And she
exactly,
did.
and she did. She felt it. She got off drugs. And she quit her job at the brothel and started got a job as a hostess in a nightclub called Empress Karaoke Club, where
Okay, so she
she
was no longer stripping,
no, she was in well,
or
the
she was no longer
brothels, not
prostituting.
yeah, she was no longer
Got it.
prostituting. But this also meant that she, had less money. Um,
Got it.
because going from a prostitute to a waitress, I guess, is a pay cut. I don't know. I haven't checked the salaries on Indeed, but I'm pretty sure that.
I'm about to check them. I need to know.
But I mean, she was. Excuse me. She was struggling to support both herself and her kid, and now being on her own. She rented a small apartment. And she was doing whatever she could for her and her kid.
Right.
However, we all know that sometimes the necessities make you do really, really, really stupid things.
How stupid.
Mm, you could get murdered and tortured, stupid. I mean,
Well,
this is what happened
let
to
me hear
her.
what she did to see if I feel like this is something I would do. Go ahead.
Okay, so while she was working at the brothel, and this is prior before she got clean and stuff, she met a man there. His name is Chan Man Lok. We should just call him Chan. He had
I
other
really wanna
nicknames.
call him Leprechaun because his last name is Malo.
Manlok, Leprechaun. We could call him Leprechaun.
Okay, moving forward.
Okay. So Leprechaun was 33 years old, right? He had been in and out of trouble his entire life. He was a member of the Triad, which if you don't know what that is,
That's
I'm
the
sure you
Asian
do.
gang, right?
Yeah, that's an Asian gang. And he had previous convictions for drug trafficking, um, not prostitution, but pimping, I guess. I don't know what the legal name for that is. People trafficking, right?
Human trafficking?
Human trafficking. Well, he wasn't really trafficking. He was selling.
Just one people. Person
Just,
trafficking?
mm, I'm not sure. Anyways, let's move
People
on.
renting? Sorry, go ahead.
But he had been in trouble with the law before.
Mhm.
And so in early 1999, Fan, needy and necessitating money to provide for herself, stole Chan's wallet. Inside of that wallet was about roughly 500 US
How
dollars.
did she get access to his wallet?
Well, she met him at the brothel. He was a previous client of her. So they had established somewhat of a relationship. I mean, not a girlfriend boyfriend relationship, but because they ran around the same crowds because of the drugs and stuff like
They
that,
were used to being around each other.
they were used to being around each other. She was used to being around his friends, his, entourage, etc. So she had easy access to him. And in early 1999, she stole his wallet. Um, and he realized what had happened. Now, when he realized what happened, um, Chan, Leprechaun, decided to request the money back plus interest. And the interest she stole about 500 and he wanted maybe another like top of that. So he wanted back a total of 2 grand, right?
Which is
She
crazy for anybody that, knows logically that, okay, I stole $500, which is already a horrible thing to have done, but then have to pay back the $500 you didn't even have that you took because you absolutely needed it for something. Now you got to pay back 2 grand. And you're not just in debt to your neighbor next door, you're in debt to the Asian
Yeah,
gang.
member of the triad.
Right.
Hmm. Not exactly a humanitarian
Okay, so no, I
organization.
wouldn't have done that. I would have been smarter than to do that. But go ahead.
No, yeah, no, that's super stupid. And I think it's really high interest. Like I feel like,
I
maybe a
know, like, who
10%
gives them the
interest.
right to do that kinda like, that's almost like his rates are almost what the mortgage rates are in America right now.
Exactly. Hmm.
I'm about to buy
But
a house.
Fan actually had not spent the money, so she immediately returned the $500, but she needed additional time to secure the other fee, right? She didn't have the 1500. I mean, she
Right.
didn't have 500 in the first place. Why would he think that she had the 1500? But my guess here is that he knew she didn't, so he planned on getting it a different way, right?
Uh-oh.
Mhm. So on March 17th, 1999, Fan was in her apartment and she was abducted by 3 men. Here they are. One of them is Chan Mangluk, which we have established his name is Leprechaun,
Mhm.
and then
Listen, the middle person's name, hold on, I wanna try it. I don't know why, but I really wanna say that it says Lung Shushan. Shine Shoe. Lung Shine Shoe.
Lung Shine Shu, Lung Xin Lung Xin Cho, Lung Xin Cho,
Okay, so
and
I'm pronouncing it wrong.
the other one is also named Lung. Does Lung mean anything? Um, Lung Wai Lun is the other one. So those are the 3 men that kidnapped
Are
her,
they all
and
on
then,
drugs or they're just all gang members?
um, they're all members of the triad in one capacity of it or another. I know that Chan Manlok, I think, was higher up in the ranks in the triad. The other Lungs sorry. The Lungs,
I'm
they
gonna
they were
refer to all groups of people by loons moving forward.
The Loons were not, I mean, not in any status probably in the tribe. They were probably just like foot soldiers, to be honest with you. They did work in like in a retail store next to the apartment that she was taken. Um, so I guess they were part-time gang bangers,
And
gang
what, part-time
members.
Dollar General?
Yes.
It fits,
Um,
whatever.
so they were abducted by these three and also one girl, which was the 13-year-old girlfriend of Chan Man Lok.
Stop.
Um,
You're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say it. That man looks like he's in his 30s.
he is. He's 33.
So his girlfriend is 20 years younger than him?
Yeah, and listen to this. He's also married.
How old's his wife? 12?
I actually don't have a clue, but no, I think she's older. He's married and has a kid. Had a kid when this happened. And actually, he
The
just
kid's
became a
probably the same
father.
age as his girlfriend.
Well, some people, some sources do state that she wasn't really his girlfriend. She was more like an employee of sorts, like a prostitute that he was
Yeah,
her
so and
pimp.
I understand that, but I'm just like, "Damn, where are the child labor laws?" Not in
It's
Hong Kong.
Asia. Are there any? I mean, there's a reason why everything is made in China or
I think we need to have a meeting with the loons. Lungs.
the
Ling.
lungs. But so the group took Fan to an apartment at number 31 Granville Road. I feel like that's a like extremely English name for
Right? And it
somewhere
almost
in
sounds like they took her to Great Britain.
I know. And like the name of the brothel was Romance Villa. So yeah, but the apartment was in Granville Road, number 31, and Simsha Shui. That's the name of the town. Simsha Shui.
Oh, wait, so the name of the town matches the name of the middle guy.
Not really,
They sound
but
exactly the same, Ling Xing Shui. Look, read
yeah,
about
that's
his
Long
name,
Shin
Ling
Show.
Xing Shui.
Oh God, we are horrible people. We are laughing, and this is a horrible, horrible situation. We
I'm not
started this
saying it's
whole
not a horrible situation, but I think Fan would be up there laughing with us for us making fun of their names.
yes,
Go
probably
ahead.
or not. I don't know. Um, but so if you think that this was quick, like they like snatched her and torture her for like a couple days and let her go or killed her, you are wrong. They kept this woman for over a month. Okay.
Doing what?
Here's the really, really awful part. During her imprisonment, she was tortured. That's tor 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 tor.
Tortoise?
tor English, come out of my mouth, please. Tortured.
This is great. Oh my god, do not
Why
cut this
can't I
out of the
say
do not
why
cut this
can't
out of our
I
final.
why
This is
can't I
great. Say it one more time.
tortured? Why can't I say that word?
Erd.
Tor
Tortured.
tortured.
You
Why?
said it fine earlier. I don't know what's wrong with your brain now.
My brain just doesn't want to say it. Okay. So during her imprisonment, she was tortured. There
There you
you
go.
go. Ah, thank God. Um she was tortured and can I say the RIPD word?
I always just say essayed or
Okay.
hard.
Or well, I just spelled it out, you guys, so I think
Right, now
I
they
mean
understand.
you probably know what I meant. But she was tortured and that essayed, and according to one source, and I'm gonna guess this source was the girlfriend, she was beaten with metal bars, while sometimes while being strung up and used as a punching bag. Um, she was also forced to laugh and smile and pretend that she was enjoying the beatings. And if she didn't laugh and pretend that she was enjoying the beatings, they would beat her even more. One time she was strung she was punched in the head like over 50 times,
Mm,
or kicked in the head around 50 times. Um they would rub spices into her wounds,
mm,
so that burns
mhm,
a lot. They would burn her legs and her feet with candle wax and hot plastic. So like they would melt hot
ooh,
plastic and then let it drip onto her body, which had to hurt. And then on top of that, they would put spices on it, which was probably a horrible
right.
feeling. Um, to the point where she was not able to walk anymore. Like her legs were in so much pain that she couldn't walk anymore. Um, Throughout this, like I said, she was forced to smile and say that she enjoyed the beatings. She was also forced to drink her own urine and eat her own feces. And she was um, repeatedly beaten and essayed for over a month or around a month.
That is a
Now,
crazy amount of time. And it's even a crazier amount of time to me because there were other people around, like that girl.
yeah, yeah, she participated. The girlfriend
Wow.
participated in the beatings. Now, some people say or want to think that she was coerced in order to do so. Um, but maybe not. I mean, or maybe she was. I mean, after all, she was actually the one that went to the police, but that's only because a fan was haunting her. Like
Right,
she
it's
felt
because she had a
remorse.
conscience, but in the time that it was happening, she clearly didn't have enough conscience to stop them from killing her.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, what's even worse is like, not only are you getting beaten, but you're getting told to act like you enjoy it. And if they don't, even if you don't, then they're going to hurt you even more.
Which
Like,
probably also made that poor 13-year-old think, "If I don't participate in this, I'm next."
yeah, I mean, why wouldn't, why wouldn't she? Um, but Fan, honestly, thankfully, because at some points, I'm sure she was begging for them to kill her because I know that I would want to have it stop. Like, you're either gonna let me go or you're going to end
Oh,
me.
yeah,
Let
just do it.
police. Just please make it stop." But they didn't make it stop. She succumbed to her wounds. Some sources say that they were at the apartment sleeping. The four assholes were at the apartment sleeping. Some sources says that they were away when she passed away, but somewhere between the 14th and the 15th of April of 1999, she succumbed to her wounds and passed away. Um Now, upon the discovery of her body, this is actually super gruesome. I Hopefully you're not eating while I say this, people.
No, I've finished eating. Oh, I thought
Uh,
you were calling me out for eating a granola bar. Go ahead.
no, before earlier I ate a cold chicken nugget. It actually tasted good.
In the middle of the podcast? I didn't see you.
No. Before we started, I was like, "Oh, I really want something." I opened my
Oh,
fridge
yeah,
and
no, I definitely was just sitting here eating while you were telling the story, but go ahead.
yeah, so when they found her body, they were like, "Oh shit, we got to do something with this." So they drug her to the bathtub, then dismembered her body and boiled her remains.
All of them?
Oh, yeah, all of them. They boiled her remains. Um,
Hold
I
on.
don't know
Sorry, I'm just trying to mentally think about so they chopped up a body and they went in the kitchen and put it in their spaghetti pot?
yeah, actually, yes, that's exactly what they did. These
It had to take them days to do that.
a couple days, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't specify how many days it took them,
Oh,
but
no, and I know it probably didn't. I'm just saying in general, you think about cutting somebody up, but think about, like boiling chicken off the bone, how long that takes. Now
exactly,
imagine doing it with every piece of a body.
yeah. And so this is mega fucking disgusting. I'm guessing the girlfriend's the one that let the police know that after boiling the body, they would use these same pots to cook their own food.
Eh, eh.
Can you imagine? I mean,
No, I'm about to gag now.
that's
Oh,
awful. Here, you know how I am, and I forget to like change pictures. This is like a picture of the apartment that she was held captive in.
so this is where she was at during that month long when they were just beating the crap out of
Yeah.
her and insane her.
And as you can tell, it's like a decrepit apartment, like it's falling apart. There was like Hello Kitty decorations in the apartment. I don't know. I guess Hello Kitty fans, you know.
Yeah,
So
it's kinda I don't know, I feel like it came from the 13-year-old.
Hello Kitty. Here she is, the Hello Kitty mermaid plushie. Okay. So, non content with boiling her body and disposing in it in like plastic bags and like they discarded most of it like in trash cans around the area, etc. But they wanted to keep a trophy as most awful, awful, awful murderers do. Some of the
Right.
worst always keep trophies because it somehow makes them feel like they're
It
still in
makes them
power.
able to yeah, it makes them able to relive the crime.
Exactly. So, they her skull after they boiled it, they they sewed it inside of a Hello Kitty doll, which they filled with dead insects as well.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, I guess he had a Hello Kitty obsession, and he thought that that was the
So
best
he put
place
dead
to put
insects
the
in all of
head.
his Hello Kitties or just this one?
No, I mean, I guess he had a Hello Kitty obsession in general, and so he was like, now she's gonna be. Maybe he thought now Hello Kitty had a soul. Maybe it
But
could.
why the dead insects?
I don't know. I actually have no clue. Maybe there's like some folklore that says something
What
about.
kind of folklore states if you're gonna put a skull in a doll, make sure you do it with dead insects? Like, that's some Roots type shit.
Yeah, and there probably is something. You know what? I'm gonna after we're done, I'm gonna look it up, and then we can
Well,
add
if
some.
so, just throw it in the comments.
Yeah, I'll do that because I didn't think of that far ahead. Thank you, Amanda. You look at the brain on Amanda, thinking, thinking things as you do all the time.
I
Um,
can't help it.
but so and they also kept one tooth. I don't know why just one.
Do you think they shared it?
And
Like, "Hey, man, what are you doing on Tuesday? Can I pick up the tooth?"
yeah, they passed it around. Just
Right, like
like
the traveling pants sisters or whatever.
yeah, like a little amulet. It's your turn with the tooth today. We should not be laughing at
"What are you
this
doing
man.
at what are you doing at 5 o'clock?" "Nothing, I'm gonna stop by the grocery store and I gotta pick up the tooth from daycare."
But yeah, the head, the tooth, and for some reason, some of her organs, they put them like in a plastic bag.
Did they put them in the freezer?
It doesn't say. Maybe they were. I'm guessing they put them in the fridge or somewhere. I
They
don't
were
know
definitely gonna
why.
sell them on the black market. There's no
And
other reason
may
to take someone's organs.
exactly there would be no other reason, but I mean, organs once you take them off. First of all, the body they're stupid. Maybe that was their idea, and they're fucking
While we're
stupid.
talking about this randomly, should any of you ever become some kind of crazy serial killer that wants to steal plasma, please reach out to me and let me know just so that I can, talk to you. Go ahead.
Also, what if they wanted to eat the organs and that's why they kept them?
Shoe shine guy doesn't eat organs.
I mean, you don't know him. I'm saying because maybe okay, so I know in some cultures eating the organ of whatever it is that you kill will give you well, it won't give you, but they believe that it will give you like the powers of that person. You know what I mean? Which
So what powers were they gonna gain from this?
pussy power.
And I'm not
Just
being mean because Fan did the best she could with the card she was dealt.
mhm.
But her only superpower was putting up with the world's bullshit.
Yeah. But I mean, maybe it wasn't, maybe in their culture it's not you gain powers, but maybe by eating their organs. And I'm not sure if that's what they were
Become more
planning on
useful
doing.
or
Yeah, I can't.
I think they were gonna sell them on the black market.
But that would be such a stupid. It's so stupid. Like they would have. I mean, it's not far fetched that they would be stupid, but the organs after they leave the body, they only have so much viability. That for one, and for two, usually the person still has to be
Yeah, but the person
remain.
they're not very intelligent people right there.
I mean, again, I don't disagree with you. And if that's what they were planning on doing, it is really, really fucking stupid. But anyway, so the girlfriend, on the 24th of May, she goes to the police station, like I told you earlier, and she tells the police officers, hey, so this happened. And she's haunting me right now. So
Mhm.
I need you to go and check it out and release her and make this shit
I
right.
wonder
Cause
how she was haunting her. Like, I wonder if it was, like, in her dreams or, like, she just be sitting around in the little room right there, hold on, can you go back?
back to where?
The bedroom?
Oh yeah. Hold on.
Because 'Cause I'm gonna give y'all a picture of me this, okay? Alright, so you a 13-year-old girl, and you getting kinda tired, and you need to, go ahead and brush out your hair and wash up your face for the next day. So you go and you sit down in this room, and you brush your hair, and all of a sudden you hear, "What's up, bitch?" Like, I would run to the police too and be like, "Hey, this is all my secret life stories. Please help me."
Exactly. And that's probably what happened. I mean, I don't know so much that it was a haunting, but maybe her subconscious, she
That's what I
probably
think.
just
I
felt
think it's her
extremely guilty.
conscience, and she just didn't know it was her conscience because she's too young to address that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she was a kid. Now this on the 24th is when they find all the body, etc., and the Hello Kitty doll. And on the 28th of May, they go to Chan's apartment. So this one right here, the one we nicknamed the leprechaun. Okay, so they go to his apartment. And the SWAT raids the apartment. At that time, he's living with his wife. Her name is Apui. Well, that's, her real name is actually Tsepui Ling, but we'll
Oh,
call her
her real name is
Apui.
what?
Se Puiling.
Say pudding?
Yes, Pudding. So he was living with his wife Pudding and with their newborn child. So his wife was originally suspected to be involved with the murder, but she was quickly released because they didn't find actually any evidence to support that theory. Um, and it wasn't until the 3rd of June that that Fan's skull was actually identified. So from when they found her, they didn't know who she actually was. I don't know if it's because he didn't say who she was originally, but on the 3rd of June is when they officially identified the skull as her with a photo overlapping method. That's where they put like the picture of the person and then the skull behind it, I guess. And if it matches, then it you know it's her.
Don't they have better technology than that now?
Now they do, I guess, but this was early
Oh
2000s,
yeah, this
so
was like 1999, 2000 era. I remember that now.
yeah. Now, um, the lungs, one of them was caught trying to flee, and he was put on the Interpol's most wanted list. He went to China, but
Right.
he was sent back to Hong Kong on February 17th. And at the trial, they couldn't charge them with murder one. So they charged them with manslaughter. And the reason for that being is that they denied killing her. They said that they did dispose of the body, but they denied killing her for one. They said that she died of a drug overdose. And then the people in the jury said that even though it is more than likely that she died from her wounds,
Mhm.
the intent of these four assholes, if you count her, was not to actually kill her. So, because there was
They were
no
just gonna keep
intent
her
to
and torture her
kill,
forever.
yeah, apparently,
Huh. So more or
you
less
know,
her dying was her only way to get out anyways. It's the only way for her to save herself.
yeah, but the jury determined that that they didn't mean to kill her. They just sure they abused her and they torture her and stuff like that, but their initial intent was not the intent to kill. Therefore, it's not murder. It's just manslaughter.
Somebody
But
could shoot that jury.
yeah. But nevertheless, I mean, this case was so shocking to all of Hong Kong that even on a manslaughter, you know, guilty verdict, they actually got life in prison.
Good.
So, and I
All 3
think
of them
that's
did?
so the girlfriend testified in the trial. And all three of them got life in prison with
Okay.
the possibility of parole in 20 years. Now, the court stated the Justice Peter Nguyen, Nguyen, Nguyen. I
You're
feel like
junior.
that's but a
You're
Nguyen.
judging. You're junior. You're junior. You're junior.
Okay, how many times are you gonna say Nguyen? Nguyen.
Mhm.
But the justice, you throw me off, Amanda.
So we were talking about their sentencing. All the guys got 30 years.
Yes. No, all the three guys got life in prison.
Oh, with the possibility
possible
of parole in
parole in
20
20
years.
years.
Yep,
And the justice or the judge that oversaw the case said that never, ever in Hong Kong in recent years has a court heard of such cruelty, depravity, callousness, brutality, violence, and viciousness. Yes, that is what he said. And yeah, the psychologist that went to that saw them, they said, they said that all three of them are remorseless, so they have no remorse. They tried to appeal the verdict, but they basically were told to go kick rocks.
right.
And they're still in jail right now. And that's the really, really sad story of Fan. Let's take a look at
Well,
her one more time. Poor woman
well,
and poor kid.
it really makes me sad to hear this story because it's like she is just as she was starting to get her life together.
Yeah.
She, made one last one see, and then sometimes all it takes is one final mistake could be the end. Now in her situation, it's so sad and triggering because she literally was just trying to figure it out. But, you know, this be careful who you hang with.
Oh, and actually, correction on myself. So I forgot one of the Lungs, the Lung Xingqiu. He was actually released in April of 2014, but then he was arrested again in August of 2022 for sexually assaulting a 10-year-old girl. Like,
They
can
should have
we
castrated him the first time he was in prison.
They really should have fucking done that. Oh, and just one more quick note before we go, you guys. The one thing that they found of value of fans was a necklace in the apartment, and they kept that and gave it to her son. Um, when he
That
was
was really
sober.
that was really cool of them.
Yeah,
That's so sad, man. She just was getting her life together too.
yeah. No, just
So
life's
y'all,
a bitch.
yeah, and y'all listen, put down in the comments, number 1, if you know the actual pronunciation of any of these names. But number 2, if you know of a similar story that maybe we don't know of, because we love hearing, seeing, all of you interact with us. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the YouTube, y'all.
Bye. Of murderer number one.